Bạn sẽ trả lời được những câu hỏi này trong phỏng vấn nhận học bổng Hungary không? Hãy cùng xem bạn Hoàng Nguyễn Thiện Nhân trả lời những câu hỏi này nhé.
Vietnam, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm from Vietnam.
Okay, I hope you're wearing that tie for us, yeah? Yeah, we're impressed, very good. I expect to see you wearing a tie every day when you come and join us. Okay, thanks for joining us today. I'd like to start with a very general question.
Okay.
I want to know about you and the things that made you who you are. I'd like you to tell us about things like big trips that maybe had a big influence on you, or a job that gave you a big interest, or your hobbies, or any interest that's become a big part of your life.
First of all, I want to express my gratitude to you admission teams for giving me this opportunity in this interview. And my name is Phỏng Nguyễn Thiện Nhân, which Phỏng is my family name and Thiện Nhân means talented person in Vietnamese. I come from the Đắk Lắk province in the Central Highland region of Vietnam, which is also known for the coffee capital. And I'm now studying as a first year college student in the Diplomatic Academy of Vietnam. And my biggest academic strength is history. And when I was in high school, I has joined the National Excellence contest and has reached the third prize, which would contribute a lot to my career path plan. And beside the academic strength, I'm also join a lot of and play a lot of sports and could and have experience through many games like football or boxing games. And that's all about myself. And
okay, thank you. Before we go a bit further, what's that sign behind you? That's interesting. Where are you at the moment? In a school?
I'm in school. I'm in school at back room. I borrow a room from the school admission, and luckily they agree to lend me.
Okay, wow. I thought it might be a classroom. I'm just interested in the little pictures behind you. What are they? Are these certificates?
Yes, there are just some certificates from other students, from the graduated student. Yes.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. Well, I mean, Vietnam, it's always been quite an interesting country for me, your home country. I remember always seeing the films about Vietnam, like by Oliver Stone, the war films,
Yes.
but always a bit angry because there were no films which showed the Vietnamese side of the story. And I've had a lot of Vietnamese students over the years, and we often talked about the Vietnam War. Could you tell us a bit about the impact still today of the Vietnam War? How does it influence thinking in Vietnam today?
My country since its establishment in the 1945 has experienced a lot of war with three main periods: the first, second, and third Indochina War. And although this war has impacted a lot on my national personalities and lifestyle, but it cannot affect our optimistic side of Vietnamese people. Also, those war has unite Vietnamese into one solidarity, and it could bring to Vietnamese a lot of huge source of power when the country is in need, and of course this war has provided Vietnam a strong base of ideologies about patriotism and the belief in the party leader, the current party leader, Vietnamese Communist Party.
Okay, wow. You know what? I'm so old. I remember the Americans leaving Vietnam. I remember the news story. You may have seen video of this with helicopters flying from the roof of the American embassy.
Yeah,
I remember
the
that
US one
very clearly. Yeah. Okay, I could talk for hours on this because it's a big interest of mine, but we don't have time, unfortunately, so we'll move on to Agnes. Agnes, what would you like to ask?
Okay.
You're muted, I think, Agnes.
Yeah, sorry. You mentioned the term patriotism.
Yes.
And could you define what it means and why is it important in politics, for instance? Patriotism. This was the term you used.
You mean about the patriotism and its influence on the current politics nowadays?
I mean, you specifically mentioned that it threatened patriotism in Vietnam, and I'm just wondering how you would define this term. So what does it mean for you, being a patriot, and why is it important for politics or building, a community?
To me, patriotism is not that far, but it could be about a thing. It could be about the mindset of people and communities that they always want to. First of all, they never forget about their homeland and their origins, and they always have their biggest dream and ultimate goal is to support the development of their own homeland countries, or even their original birthplace. And I think that patriotism is an important element in the politics, because with patriotism it could be the main base for each politicians when they decide or plan or draw out some strategies related to the countries, and it could lead to the development of that nations, or maybe could lead to the downfall of that nation. So they have to be more careful, and also always put their national interest above any other elements.
And in terms of national interest of Vietnam, which are the biggest, allies of Vietnam nowadays in world politics? Can you name a few countries that Vietnam has a good relationship with, which seems, from the perspective of Vietnam, very important partners in global politics? What are those countries currently?
In Vietnam, international relationship politics, Vietnam don't set one allies relations with any countries to against other nations. That my country always want to be a responsible and reliable partner to the whole world, and in the cooperated nation with Vietnam, I could tell you about some former Eastern Bloc country from the Cold War era, like Russia, Poland, Hungary, Romania, or Czechoslovakia. And some beside the Eastern Bloc, there are some other former enemies like the USA or China. Those countries also has confronted with Vietnam in the past, but we all overcome that pain and move to normalizing relations and even cooperate more in the current days, and I think that it would be go further in the near future.
And one question, if I may. I mean, in this program we are teaching students to think critically, and if you look at your countries, can you name any field where you think that there should be improvement? Any field, being economy or culture or politics, whatever. And can you just bring up on issue that thing that can be improved and where you can see yourself contributing to make it
some issues? You mean some issues of it?
In your country specifically.
I think the first issue that I always think about that is the community and people build republic and the public believes to the lead of the party of the country's nation's party, and maybe sometime in the future it might could be eroded and not become solid anymore like in the past. So it had to depend a lot on the activities and its impact to the country's community of some politicians and the whole party system nowadays. And other issues could related to the way our Communist Party operated nowadays, like the red tape, corruption in some part of the community. Maybe it could be small in the current moment, but in the future it might be enlarged and expand more, and could lead to the erosions of the whole party system, and it requires a new human resources to contribute to the operation of the party, like myself, and devote my effort to the development of my countries through political methods and government.
Thank you. Do you have a question for Maria about life or study in Budapest?
I just have some questions for Maria about the life of student in Budapest. Can you answer that?
Can I expand on about the life of a student in Budapest? Is that the question? Did I understand correctly?
Okay. Beside, are you from the Moldova countries Moldova?
Yes, I am from Moldova. So I can talk about my experience here in Budapest. I think it's a really international community. We also have Hungarian students, but it's a huge international community, students from a lot of countries here, and it's really international, and you gain a lot of intercultural experience as well. Also, the professors for me are really nice. They explain everything really clear, and every time you have a question, they're open to discussions. You can reach them in their own office and discuss something. A lot of events happen here: panel talks, discussions, opening of student clubs, visits of ambassadors, for example. And in general, Budapest is a great student city, I think, because the prices are affordable, a lot of events happen, and a lot of youth here in Budapest. So, yeah.
That's great. And I have another question that does the international student system diverse in their from many continents besides Europe, like Asia or Africa or Latin America?
Yeah, I mean, we've literally got students from all over the world. Difficult to identify if there's any one group. We've got more from a certain place than others. Literally, we have students from Asia, Vietnam, India, China, Japan, and with the Erasmus, we have lots of European students coming for one semester. We also have a diaspora grant, so Hungarians born in America or Britain starting to study with us. We have a lot of Ukrainians and also a lot of Russians. Maria from Moldova, of course. Really, it's very varied, and I'm very pleased with that. So I think that's something students find very positive. And as Maria said, it's a great intercultural experience. It's been good talking to you. We'll be in contact in a week or two with the score, but thank you for joining us today.
Okay. Thank you for the interview. And I hope that in the future I could meet you. I could meet all of you again in the universities. Thank you for.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye.